It's Victory Monday, Chiefs Kingdom. Victory Monday after a blowout win over the San Francisco 49ers. If you're still fired up about being 5-2, like this video. Chiefs sitting in a good spot heading into their bye week, so hit that like button if you're fired up. Today's Chiefs Report is presented by Manscaped, the best men's grooming products out there. Don't be looking like a scarecrow this Halloween season downstairs. Go to Manscaped, the best men's grooming products on the planet, and you can get them for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. Promo code Chiefs. That is promo code Chiefs when you go to manscaped.com. All right, let's get into some rumors here on a Monday. Did the Chiefs want Brian Burns? Well, it certainly appears that they are interested. There's a report out there that they are among the teams who have reached out to Carolina. These are the three teams that have been named specifically: the Kansas City Chiefs, the Los Angeles Rams, and the Philadelphia Eagles. Certainly three teams, three contenders. The Rams haven't played like a contender this year, but at 3-3, still in the mix, obviously, and want to get back to the playoffs and try to defend their Super Bowl championship. Kansas City, Philadelphia, obviously two teams that are certainly contending at this point. Now, there's also a report out there that Carolina wants at least 2 first-round picks. There was even another report that they turned down 2 first-round picks. Could the Chiefs have been that team? I don't know. I think they could be because they typically draft late in the first round, so maybe they're saying, yeah, we don't want the 30th pick in each of the next 2 years on average. We don't know exactly where the Chiefs are going to be picking, of course, but I do think that could be the case. I do think the Chiefs are interested. You just wonder, how interested are they in terms of trying to actually go out and get Brian Burns if they haven't made a trade at this point in time. Would you trade 2 first-round picks for Brian Burns? It's a tough call. Type Y for yes, type in for no. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Y for yes, and for no. I do think it's a tough decision. Now, the reason I would consider it is because what I just said earlier. You pick late in the first round, typically, Kansas City does, and you should be for a long time as long as Patrick Mahomes is playing quarterback here. You're going to be making the playoffs every year, which means you're picking in the mid-late 20s at earliest, if not later, hopefully 32nd. That means you won the Super Bowl. It's just a tricky one because I do think this team could use another pass rusher, but then you look at this group and you're like, well, pass rush kind of woke up this weekend. Frank Clark, looking at you, it's like he knew the Chiefs were interested in Brian Burns, so he decided to show up. 1.5 sacks against the 49ers on Sunday. You've got Carl Loftus, Chris Jones. I still think Brian Burns, a guy who's been stellar early in his career, would be a guy that would come in here, start right away, and be a superstar on this defense. The question I have is, can Frank Clark be reliable? If we could see more of what we saw on Sunday out of him, then maybe you don't trade 2 first-round picks for Brian Burns. But Clark has not been a reliable player over the past 2 years. We see flashes like we saw on Sunday, but not nearly consistently enough. So it'll be interesting to see over the next 8 days how the trade market kind of unfolds. It sounds like Carolina, unless they just get overwhelmed with the trade, they want to keep Burns as a part of a rebuild, but man, I would love to get my hands on this guy because he is an absolutely stud pass rusher, and he's only in his 4th year in the NFL. It could be a long-term play as well. Now, if you don't want a Brian Burns downstairs, get it, Manscaped. You want to have the best ball hair trimmer on the market. Okay, maybe it's a bad dad joke. I am going to be a dad soon, so got to get started early. But you need to get started with Manscaped because the Performance Package comes with the Lawnmower 4.0, which is going to limit those burns downstairs, those razor cuts. I never liked shaving the family jewels before I met Manscaped because a lot of products out there just aren't very good, and it's a sensitive area, as we all know, as males these days. So, hey, you want to have a good product out there, and Manscaped is going to give you just that. The Performance Package also comes with ball toner, ball deodorant. You get the Weed Whacker, which is going to trim your nose and ear hair, and you get the most comfortable boxers on the planet. Get 20% off plus free shipping when you go to manscaped.com. Use promo code Chiefs. That's going to get you that 20% off. That link is in the comments and the description. Promo code Chiefs. Go check it out right now. All right. JuJu Smith-Schuster. I think we got to start talking about this guy more. Wide receiver 1? Right now, I'd say so. The last 2 games, he's looked like a wide receiver 1 with a pair of 100-yard games and a touchdown in each of the past 2 weeks. He's starting to emerge. He's starting to look like the guy we saw at times in Pittsburgh. We all remember the 1,400-yard season in 2017. He was injured last year, kind of up and down in the years in between 2017 and last year. But you look at his projected numbers, if you average out what he's done so far this year over 17 games, these are like wide receiver one numbers. 82 catches, 1,200 yards. Now, 5 touchdowns is a bit low, but he's averaging 14.5 yards per catch. Let's say the touchdowns increase to 8 because he has 2 touchdowns right now, but both were in the last 2 weeks, so he's starting to be a red zone option too. Let's say the touchdowns increase. If the catches and yards continue the way they are, those are wide receiver one numbers. If this guy catches 80 balls for over 1,200 yards and 7 or 8 touchdowns, that's a number one receiver. Now, it may not be Tyreek Hill. It may not be DeAndre Hopkins. But if he's, kind of a tier 2 number one wideout, that's perfectly fine with the complementary pieces around him with obviously Travis Kelce, who is, I think, the greatest receiving tight end in NFL history. Mecole Hardman, these other guys starting to emerge. Valdez-Scantling had a nice game on Sunday as well. I don't think they're going to trade for a receiver. I think they've got enough here with Kelce and these complement of receivers on this depth chart. Maybe it's not a true number one situation, but JuJu the last 2 weeks has looked like a number one. He's played really well. Excited to see what he continues to do moving forward. Got the bye week this week, and then, kind of that second half push for the remainder of the season. Now, maybe you disagree. Maybe you still want to go make a trade for a DJ Moore or a Chase Claypool or someone else. Should the Chiefs trade for a wideout? Type T for trade, type P for pass. I say no, and I'll tell you in a minute why I would lean no, other than the reasons I've already mentioned. Hit that subscribe button here on the Chiefs Report because, hey, listen, if the Chiefs make a trade, we're going to break it down. If it's a big trade, we're going to be going live. So subscribe today, youtube.com/ChiefsTV, news, rumors, trade deadline coverage. We're going to have it all here on the Chiefs Report. So hit that sub button and stay with us all season long. All right, OBJ. He's another reason why you don't need to trade for a receiver. If you can get Odell Beckham, I think I would just sign him and then roll with whatever else you have. Now, OBJ still recovering from that ACL tear. Several teams are expected to show interest. Aaron Wilson reported last week, which we talked about, that the Chiefs are regarded as a strong contender for OBJ. Travis Kelce talked about it on his podcast. Andy Reid kind of danced around the topic, but even he talked about how great of a player Odell Beckham is. This is the type of player that Andy Reid's not afraid to bring in. Some teams probably view Odell Beckham, he's a drama queen, whatever. I would absolutely bring this guy in. You look at this depth chart again, I think they're starting to come together. I like what JuJu's doing. Valdez-Scantling, he's a little inconsistent catching the football, but we saw on Sunday how much of a vertical threat he can be. And Mecole Hardman just had a hat trick, 3 touchdowns on Sunday, 2 on end arounds, caught 1 as well. He's starting to be a guy that is coming out with those chunk plays that we like to see. Now, Sky Moore's not giving us what we want at this point, especially punt return. Got to take him away from that at this point. Justin Watson had a touchdown, though. He's a nice, number 4, number 5 type. I'm still in on OBJ. I don't know exactly what his role would be, but you get another weapon in here to pair with JuJu and Kelce and MVS and Hardman. It can only help, right? I don't see a scenario where it hurts. So I'm in on Odell Beckham Jr. I'd like to see what he could do once he's healthy with Patrick Mahomes, but I don't think any movement will happen for OBJ until after the NFL trade deadline. So at least probably a week and a half away until we hear more, but I do think in the next 3 weeks maybe, Odell Beckham will choose a team. Now, will the Chiefs be that team? Will they sign Odell Beckham? Type OBJ for yes. Type no BJ for no. I'd like to see it. Plus, he would look great in a Chiefs uniform. All right, that's going to do it here on a Victory Monday. Enjoy the bye week. We'll still have videos every single day leading up to the next matchup for Kansas City, and be subscribed for that. Also, follow me on social at HGramNFL on Twitter and on Instagram. You can hit me up there with any Chiefs questions you may have as well. All right, I'm Harrison Graham. We'll see you next time here on the Chiefs Report.